The Matrix Resurrections was directed by Lena Wachowski, and it stars Keanu Reeves and amongst others in this movie. And this is the fourth film in the Matrix franchise. So let's get into it. In this movie, we return to a world where it has two realities. One with everyday life, and the other one what lies behind it. So and then we get Mr. Anderson, aka Neo, will have well he has to choose to follow the White Rabbit once more and rediscover about the Matrix once again. And now we got our movie. The Matrix Resurrections was a movie that I was really looking forward to because after I watched the trailer, I remember the other day I was on YouTube and I was looking at the trailer for this movie, and I was just like, oh, we got a new Matrix movie out. We got a new Matrix movie coming out, and I was a lot excited for this movie. But I did ask myself a question. Is this movie gonna be good? Yes, no, I don't know, but I did answer. Says I don't know if this movie's gonna be any good. But before I saw this movie, before I saw the movie, I heard some mixed reviews about the movie. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. Some people thought it was okay, but with me, what do I think of The Matrix Resurrections? I thought it was okay, but I did find some things I like and some things I did not like about this movie. Not that much, but and also with this movie, I recently heard about The Matrix half of my life. For half my life, for half my life, I heard some of the Matrix movies. I remember going over to my father's house, looking at the DVDs of the Matrix movies. And I was just like, I never even watched the first movie. I don't remember which Matrix movie I watched. I didn't see the first movie, but I think I only watched one of the Matrix movies. Was either Revolutions or Reloaded, and I don't know which one I actually watched. I can't remember which one I watched. I think I watched Reloaded at first, but I think those movies were pretty good. But I still gotta watch the first movie still, which I could have watched the first movie, but I'm afraid those movies were probably 2 hours long. I guess I don't know, but anyway, this movie with me. This is my first time watching this movie though, but like I said, I did discover about the Matrix a little bit, but I didn't know any of the characters. But I do know some of the characters in some of the movies, like except for the first movie. The only one I know was Neo, Trinity, Morpheus, and Agent Smith, and that's it. Those are the only characters I know in some of the movies. So those were great characters though. So anyway, let's get into the actors and the characters. Let's start off with Keanu Reeves as Neo, or Mr. Anderson, whatever you want to call him. Is he good in this movie? Well, yeah, he's pretty good in this movie. I think he gives a little bit or a lot to his role, but at sometimes I think the movie sometimes just makes him a little bit cheesy at some time. But there were some scenes that I did follow his performance then, and at sometimes I'm just like, okay, now we're doing this again. So I think that sometimes this movie does a really good job with him, but at some time there were some scenes that just really just threw me off with his character. But I think he was fantastic as Neo in the original movies. But what I really like about his character is we do discover more of the original Neo that we saw in the original movies, because I really like the nostalgic. There was some really cool nostalgic scenes that some of us saw in the original movies. That was one of the most respectful things from the Matrix movies. But with Neo, same thing. I really like some of the flashbacks that we saw in the original movie of him. But I think Keanu Reeves did a fantastic job in this movie. And next up is CarrieAnne Moss as Trinity. Is she good in this movie? Well, she is good in this movie, but she isn't in the movie too much. So yeah, she isn't in the movie that much. I just wish we did get a chance to see more of her in the movie. But even though I haven't watched one of the original movies in a while, But with her in this movie, she's not in the movie too much, which I would just wish maybe she didn't want to be in the film too much. And what I really like about her character is we do see more of the backstory from the original Trinity from the original movies, which is one of the most respectful things in the movie. And Carrie Anne Moss really shines as Trinity in this movie, but as sometimes she's isn't in the film too much, and as sometimes she can get a little bit cheesy as sometimes with her character. But I think she did a fantastic job in this movie. And next up, I know I did when I first saw the trailer, I did talk about Morpheus. And though here we have Morpheus, he's not played by Lawrence Fishburne at all, which though I have no idea why. But this actor right here is Yahya Mateen. Yeah, y'all may know him as Black Manta from Aquaman, but in this movie, I'm sitting there like, wait, where's Lawrence Fishburne? I remember watching the trailer, I was like, wait, is that Morpheus? I was like, wait, what is that? Don't tell me that's Morpheus. That is not Morpheus from the original. This is disrespect. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is kind of disrespectful a little bit, but no offense. But I think he was really good here. But I think they could have brought Lawrence Fishburne back. But I have no idea why they didn't bring Lawrence Fishburne back in this movie. I wonder why. Maybe he didn't want to be in the movie, or maybe Hollywood didn't call him to come back for his character in this movie. But with Yahya Mateen, I think he makes a really good Morpheus in this movie. But I thought he was okay. But I just wish they brought Lawrence Fishburne back for this movie, because Lawrence Fishburne was in the original Matrix movies. But with this Morpheus, I was okay with him. But I think they could have brought Lawrence Fishburne back for his character. But yeah. But I'm just saying. And next up is Jonathan Groff as Agent Smith. And I heard, and I did look this up, that Hugo Weaving, who played the original Agent Smith. I wonder why he didn't come back for this character either. But in this movie, this one's played by Jonathan Groff, who was okay in this movie. I wasn't really too familiar with his character. But as I said, I haven't looked at any of the other two Matrix movies in a while, or one of them actually. But I thought he was okay in the movie, but he's not in the film that much. But yeah, he's in the movie. He isn't in the movie too much, like I said, but I thought he was okay. And next up is Jessica Haywick as I forgot her character's name, but whatever. Oh yeah, Bugs. Sorry. Her character's name is Bugs. Yeah. So here is her character, Bugs. I thought she was the best part of the movie. And she makes me actually love her character. And I love this character so much. And I think she's the best part of the movie, because she gives a really good performance in this movie. And also she does have some really good action stunt moves in this movie. And she does have some fighting moves as well. And I do like her fighting moves in this movie. And I think she's the best part of this movie. That's all I'm going to say. And last but not least is Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah, Doogie Howser is in this movie. So yeah, here we have Neil Patrick Harris as Mr. Anderson's, or I shall say Neil's analyst. I thought he's not in the movie too much, but at sometimes I'm just like, I think his character could have just been more serious this time around, but I thought he does have some really good funny moments in the movie, but at some time he's just a little bit more serious. But also he's not in the film. He's not even in this movie that much. You don't really see him a lot, but you do see him. I think we only see him for at least a brief. I think we see him for at least 4 or 5 times in the movie and gone, and that's it. But I thought he was fine. He was fine. He was good. There was some scenes that he was good. There was some scenes that I thought he was fine in. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say for Neil Patrick Harris. And I think that's it for the actors and the characters. And I do want to say that what I really enjoy about this movie, how okay the action sequences was. Now, I do want to talk about the action, the fight scenes in the movie. I do like most of the fight scenes in the movie, but I do like one of the fight scenes in this movie, which is fantastic. But there was there was not enough action in the movie. But we do, sorry, but there was some action scenes in the movie that could have been put into this movie a little bit. But I think there was some action that could have put in a little bit more effort, which I meant to say. But there was some fight scenes that had a little bit more effort. But there was some fight scenes and there was some action, some fight scenes that could have had a little bit more effort into it. But the action scenes were pretty good. There was some action scenes I like and some action scenes I did not enjoy too much. But yeah, and also I do want to say the special effects in this movie, the visual effects, brings back so much of the nostalgia from the Matrix movies, which I saw in the film actually. But there was some really good nostalgic scenes from the original movies, which is one of the most respectful things from the Matrix for the Matrix fans, for the original Matrix fans, that they will most likely enjoy they watch some of the originals, and some of them actually watch one of the originals. And I did watch one of the Matrix movies actually, but I think this is some really good nostalgia stuff in the movie, and I think this movie has some respect for nostalgia. But there was some really good CGI special effects, but there was some CGI stuff that felt like you're playing a science fiction video game. Like it feel like you're playing a little bit like I wouldn't say Halo, but a different science fiction game. It does feel like you're playing an actual straight metal science fiction game at some time, but there was some really good CGI special effects in the movie that I really liked in this movie. But we do discover more of the Matrix from the originals, a little bit more, but there was some stuff that we didn't really discover a little bit more about the Matrix. But anyway, the Matrix Resurrections, I thought this was a fantastic, okay, joyride movie, but I think this movie was pretty good, and I thought, in my opinion, this movie was fine. There was some stuff that I like and some things that I didn't like about the movie, like I said. But I think The Matrix Resurrections was a pretty okay movie. But I think I did enjoy this movie, even though I forgot to mention I actually did watch this movie on HBO Max, and also too, this movie was like 2 hours and 28 minutes long, and I was like, okay, this movie's like 2 hours and 28 minutes long, but I didn't expect this movie to be that longer, but it is what it is. But there's nothing much to say about the new Matrix movie, The Matrix Resurrections. This movie, I'm going to say, it's okay, but I did enjoy the movie a little bit more. But I think that's all I got. That's all I'm going to say for the movie review of The Matrix Resurrections, and that's all I'm going to say. And that's all I got to say for the new Matrix movie, and that's about it. So be sure to like, subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, and comment down below, and I'll see you on my next video, and thank you for watching.